happy dance. I'm feeling good, folks. I am feeling good. Look at that. I got a stride, don't I? Hey, good to see you, Lily.
Hi, John. How you doing?
Better now. You know, I was gone for a couple of days. I just moved. I've had to nest in, got my equipment up, got a new background here, looking all royal,
fancy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm feeling much better. I'm looking good, smelling good. Take my word for that. It's a good day.
Awesome.
The
what
market,
you got for? What's
going
on?
Yeah, not such a great day. Depending on which market you were playing, there was a lot of different activity today. Big market wasn't all that much fun. I was playing some options today. The OTC market still asleep at the wheel. Hello. Hey, let's get up some news while I'm gabbing here. In case you folks don't know, I do a lot of scouting of news. Where's that share button? I don't have a share button.
I don't have a share button either.
What happened to our share? How can we do anything without a share button?
Okay. I do see it's changed. It looks like they changed it to present. Try the present button. Apologies, guys. They called it share and now it's present. I think it's the same thing, though.
Is it present or present? All right. Present screen. Holy cow, they had me definitely baffled there.
This is the part. I didn't know they did it, John. Sorry.
Boy, I'm blushing here. I can feel it.
Getting flustered.
All right.
There we go.
I got a second screen over here, so you'll be looking at my good profile. I made sure to put it on the right side. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. This is news, folks, I've actually looked at personally myself over the last 5 or 6 days. Most of it is OTC market news, a couple penny stocks in there. There's no boring news in there, financial reports, public offerings. Not that that stuff's not important, but it's not what we're looking for when we go hunting. So if you haven't had a chance to go through the news, there it is. Take some notes. Right now, you can't freeze the frames, so you'll have to come back later after we've recorded this and jump back into it. We'll play this through twice, though. It is definitely worth your time and effort. I promise.
Yeah, I see toners on there too. I heard they weren't happy that the news wasn't coming out, and I saw toner kind of went down this week.
Yeah, I thought toner was down and then took a bounce up.
It may have. I haven't checked in a couple days, but that's what I heard, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I've been unpacking through the day. I don't have a whole lot of time. I try to get these videos made. I didn't make one Monday and Tuesday because I just moved. Most of you probably know that. But I did try. I absolutely tried, but I was using old equipment that just couldn't handle me. I was too much for it. It just kept locking up.
Well, I think they could give you a break, John. I mean, you're solid. You're always out there doing some great content.
Yeah, the wizard needs to replenish his magic every now and then. We'll let this go through one more time for you folks. The OTC wasn't anything special today. Yesterday, we're down on dollar volume. I think we're down to $1.2 billion. Folks, we get under $1 billion. I don't know. I mean, is anybody even going to show up for the OTC that day? Our share volume has been under 10. Under 10 billion. For quite a few days now, we're roughly at 6-7 billion, which is nothing to brag about. Year ago, we might have been at about 20, 25, but that was after a half a year of decline. We've been falling ever since February of 2021, and this is October of 2022. That shows you how long. We've been bouncing now across the bottom floor. That's all you can say. We're not going any lower, really. We're just bouncing across the floor. And I honestly don't know what it's going to take for the OTC market. I've only had my suggestion of the cannabis laws in America changing. Since we have so many cannabis stocks on the OTC, if you get 1,000 of them running, that should be a good primer. That should get the old engine putzing again.
Outside of that, I know what it'll take. Another massive bull run. Massive.
Well, what's going to cause the bull run? The end of inflation, another stimulus?
Yeah, it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute.
Stimulus check. That would do it.
Turning on the money printers always does it.
Yeah, that would work. All right. We are coming down. There's the link right here, folks. Nice, short, easy link.
Yeah, I'll post it at the end.
Wizard. This will get you into where we are at. We've moved over to Penny Boys. We were at Titan Trading for a while. And that's where we chat through the day. We have lots of different ways to chat. We can actually talk over the microphones. We can just type and chat. We can keep up with each other's trades through the day, get some opinions from each other. We'll gladly look at charts through the day. If you're, trading and you want a second opinion, hey, that's what we're there for. We're not charging for it. We're a community. Help each other out. You're going to bring us some stocks we may not have seen. So it's mutually beneficial for everybody.
That's right. We have a fantastic community too. So what you got today for us?
Well, I've got a couple here. Again, I've been setting things up. I wanted this live video to go well, so I've been working on a few things. But one of the stocks that has been in the news quite a few times is Cartel International. I don't know how much you know about Cartel. This is one of the only companies I know of that is working out of Korea. And they are working with CBD and psilocybin. And I do believe I got that right. There's a couple of big boys that have just come out here. Let me see. Make sure I got my facts right. There we go. South Korea, right? And it's not that they're just working in South Korea. They've got the support, not just permission, the support of South Korea to go forward where no man has gone before and make some drugs a la psilocybin and CBD. So they are launching the first setup so that other companies can be duplicated exactly the way Cartel is doing it. And Cartel is going to be in charge. They've actually been given some ambassadorships or something over there to help this grow. Well, they just had news here today. Now, things are still developing with this. Like a lot of good companies with potential, it's not being seen. There's just no volume. There's no money coming in. We're all broke right now. I mean, seriously, it's just bad timing for any company to be doing well and coming out with good news because there's just not a lot we can throw at them right now. But these are companies we want to keep our eye on because this is going to be a first mover. They are going to be able to work with psilocybin and CBD in ways that other countries can't because they've got restrictions. They've got an open highway over there in South Korea. And they've made a deal here. And I have been watching this company, and I didn't know why. The company made a joint, is it a joint venture? A strategic alliance is what they're calling it, with Cannabis Global Inc., CBGL. Well, CBGL has been running for the last couple of days, and the news just came out today. So I was looking at this. I've been watching it the last couple of days run, and I was trying to find a catalyst. Could not find anything. So who knew what? Now, I do see a low bubble, right? Right? But the low bubble could mean, now let's go back. Let's see if that's maybe a yearly bubble. 0008, and where are we right now? It was. So that was a 52-week low bubble. So it could have been bouncing off of it because this company, like a lot of cannabis companies, have value. They're under the radar right now for a lot of reasons. But again, I've said 1,000 times, not all cannabis companies are created equally. Depending on what country you're in, you've got different freedoms. You've got different benefits. And America is stifled right now. Oh, we're blooming, but it's like growing underneath a terrarium. They need to pull that bubble off and just let us go. But they're not doing that yet. So you've got these two companies here, Cartel, which fell today, hit a low. Let's see how low that bubble goes or how far back that goes. All right, so that's not an impressive low, but it's been here before. It's been right down in this area before. It could come lower. There's her low right there, 027. And her low here is at about 150% up, 0425.
Yeah.
So it did not have a good day on the news, and it was their news, but CBGL did. It kept climbing today.
That's interesting.
So that's just something to keep your eye on because Cartel is a new kid in the block. I think they just came on the market. Let's see. If I go back, I can tell you exactly how far back they came on. They came on July 22nd. It's a brand new company like TXTM, brand new cannabis company that's working in South Africa. Another one you got to keep your eye on because South Africa is helping them. Look, when you get a nation backing you, and the nations are backing you for one reason. There's lots of money to be made. Look, I hate to put it this way, but there's a reason people have been dealing drugs for decades, because it's very lucrative. And when you get it legalized, somebody wants to make that money. And the countries would love to cash in on it first.
Yep, they're setting up to make that money. You're absolutely right. We do have a comment from Belmore. Welcome, Belmore. She said, hello, good to see both of you. Miss you on Monday. Can you look at LEAS and CCNCW?
LEAS, yes. There was some news that we just had go by. LES was mentioned in that news. Let's get on back there. LES. We'll start off. Right, lease.
Yeah.
All right, let's just drop that out of there. We'll start on the chart. That's what most people want to know. Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? I don't actually start with the chart because, well, most people follow the news, actually. So I always check the news. Look for the catalyst first. But there are lots of stocks that don't need any help moving except the chart. The chart looks right. My God, Twitter will warn you about it. Hey, we just had a big block order. It's sitting here. It's just crossed a VWAP. I'm in. Next thing you know, everybody's in.
Yep.
So we had a big jump and a big stair step down here back in April of this year. Hasn't been doing anything for a very, very long time. Once the 200 got close, maybe not once. It's been darn near over a month since.
Look at the volume that came in right there, though.
Yeah, this is tremendous volume.
That's crazy.
It is very strong volume. She had a big jump and she came way back down. Let's look at that 5-day, 5-minute. So she jumped yesterday, actually. That is yesterday, right? Yeah, that's the 4th. That's the 5th.
2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. So she must have had news. We'll see that in a minute here, but you can see she was doing absolutely nothing down there in the 000s.
And then boom.
Yeah, launched. I mean, down there at 0007. Woo!
That's amazing gains right there.
Yeah, that's a good gain. That's over 350% there. Could be closer to 400%. And has been giving it away for the last 4 days, coming back down and not showing any signs here of recovery at this point in time. Looking at our PPO, which is our percentage price oscillator, it's like the MACD. You want to see that blue line on top. You also want to see it going up. And when you see this blue line coming down and this ADX, whenever you see this line coming up, doesn't matter if you even know what it does. When you see the two coming together, the price is falling. It guaranteed 100%. When they're going apart, the price is rising. We can see they're both coming together. So we can see imminently on the 5-minute chart, she is still wanting to fall. MACD hasn't got any life. It has crossed over negatively and falling. And RSI is almost on the floor. We're at 33 right now. Let's see what the news is. Jump on over there to OTC market. LEAS.
Oh, I see it's yielding.
It's what? Yield?
The pink limited information, the yield sign.
Oh, right. She is yield. Let's start with that then. She's late on one of her financial filings or more. There's 12. There's 6. Where's the 3? You can obviously see these go every 3 months. We're missing. I don't know how they did that, but we're missing the March quarterly report here. So I don't know if they just overlooked it or
and
what.
Possibly September. Or they did it in August. Is that when they did it? This last one, August?
They did it in August for the July, but they do not have a March at all. They did their annual, but they skipped the March. Like the accountant just thought he did it and didn't do it. So they got to get that in there. Anything else? No, there's nothing really current here. I do want to check on the share structure. Always interested. All right, we got over 1 billion shares.
That's a lot.
It's quite a bit. Financials. We got nothing annually. No money coming in. Have they started making money? So they are a shell company. I don't know why it doesn't say that, but they're not making. Now, they could be a shell risk. I don't know if this company is actually doing business, to be honest. All right. A new medical Inc. acquires 5 drug approval with manufacturing in Europe. This just came out yesterday. That sounds like pretty big news to me. A new medical Inc. So what does that got to do with lease? I guess they've changed their name. A new medical Inc. LEAS, announced that it has acquired 5 market-approved anti-cancer drugs approved for sale in Germany. Cancer drugs are huge, folks. I mean, there's 1 out of 3 people have cancer. So anytime a cancer drug works, I guarantee you that stock moves and moves quick. The market authorizations are for 4 of the drugs that comprise the FOLFOX and FOLFIRI multi-drug regimens used in treatment of metastatic colorectal and gastric cancer, and 2 of the drugs are used to treat metastatic lung cancer. The drugs are important in the treatment of many solid tumors in both kids and adults. That sounds pretty bloody big to me. Why the stock fell? I don't know. I mean, it wasn't rising yesterday either.
I don't know why it popped off either.
No, what was that? That was like 4 days ago, wasn't it?
2 days ago on the 4th, I think.
Yeah, we got no news here, and I didn't see any new disclosures to talk about. No, nothing there. Very strange. It's like somebody knew that news was coming out because it's big news. That's the sort of pop you would expect on a cancer drug, 300, 400%. Absolutely. And then the day it comes out, you get nil.
You get nothing. Yeah.
I'm a little confused. But looking at it, boy, that's a great buy price too. 001. I've got to tell you, folks, it's my favorite price on the entire stock market. Favorite price. 001 is entering into second gear. First gear is a crawl. That's those 000s. Those are long holds if you got time. First gear. Yeah. This is second gear. We get some more oomph. You buy it at 001, hits 002. Boom, 100% gains. And there's only one more digit behind that 1 for the 000. So on the odometer, you only got to turn 1 digit up to the 9 and boom, we're there again. It's the shortest distance you're going to cover for 100% gains on the charts. I love that buy price. And having 4 drugs, obviously some more due diligence is necessary. How important are these drugs? What sort of testimonials, studies? Is it selling anywhere else? Who are they buying them from and why are they selling them? These questions will tell you more about it, but it sounds really good to me.
It does, but I mean, that reporting that it's yielded and that our revenues are lacking doesn't give me much hope at this point for it.
Yeah, no revenues tells me that they're most likely in a research and development stage still. They've got no products to sell, which means they're needing money. They're not making money and putting value out to us. They're putting shares out. They're looking for more investors and giving them shares and a piece of the pie. So more due diligence is not necessary. But if this is the start of something, that's a good first step. So we want to look at a warrant. Is it CCNCW?
Yes.
I love warrants. So does Lily here. She's a warrant
I do.
hound. Yeah, we like warrants because warrants, well, they're the stepchild of the parent company. The company gets news, the warrant normally moves, but the warrant can move independently of news. It can hit a low bubble. Just a low bubble on a warrant can be very appealing to some people. I've done shows on this, folks. Yeah. You see lots of warrants that hit low bubbles and they just don't bounce. They bounce. I mean, it's like, what? Why? And you just can't find anything but that silly bubble. So you start to figure after a while, the bubble means something, but the company has to have value. If the company has value, it's a win-win because you're buying a warrant, which is basically a promissory note to buy a share of stock in the future cheap, and you're getting the warrant super cheap. So it's a win-win all the way around. All right, what does this company do? Well, let's see if maybe they tell us more because the warrant doesn't do anything now, does it? CC.
Yeah, you got to take that off. NW. Or no, I'm sorry, CCNC. You're
That's
right.
Okay, I got my other screen there. All right, they're still not going to tell us what they do. Let's see if we got any news over here because you can not only get a catalyst, but you can get some, well, you can get nothing.
Anything.
On the NASDAQ.
That's why it's a NASDAQ stock. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And not some NASDAQ stocks will give some information, some won't. Outstanding shares, 46 million. So we know their float's under 46 million, which is a decent float, whatever it is. NASDAQ stock is making money. They've had a big drop during the COVID here. So whatever they do, it was an essential business. Last ended last year, they did 25 million, kept a little over 8 million. In the last quarter, they did nothing. Something's wrong. I mean, that's abnormal completely. And they're still in business because they got expenses. They just didn't pull any money in. Let's see. Any disclosures here? We do. We got a 10K or a 8K that came out yesterday. Love those 8Ks. They're very short. And all you got to do is read right here. That'll tell you what it's about. Directors, split, material, definitive agreement. I always look for the word material. Then I stop. Yes, I put on my bib and get my fork and knife because it's normally something I want to dive into. So what do we got here? As disclosed on September 19th, on September 16th, Code Chain New Continental Limited entered into a share purchase agreement with Shanghai Highlight Media, a PRC company. The shareholders of the target pursuant, blah, 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 blah. Where are we going with this, folks? They are long-winded. I'll give you that much. Established by variable interest structure. So we got some sort of deal going here. Sometimes you get lucky. No, actually, now this one isn't short. I can see that right now. They've gone through all the particulars in 2 languages. So a lot of times you may find a news press down at the bottom. Hopefully it would be in English.
I've actually had to translate them before.
Wow, that's a biggie. Normally they aren't that big. Half a scroll, that's the whole bloody thing right there. Entered in a series of buy agreements with target and target shareholders. So we would have to dig into this a little deeper, but they've got somebody who's investing into the company one way or another. I see a lot of different names of companies here. They say they've got multiple agreements, VI agreements, variable interest entities. So there's something going on there, absolutely. But it was the warrant that reacted today. The company went up 51%. Okay, I'm interested to see what the
yeah, it moved pretty good too.
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, an extra 300%.
I'm talking about the company. I knew the warrant did more.
Wow. Yeah, let's go check that warrant out. I like that. If that's the way it finished, and that's the nice thing about warrants. A lot of times they don't drop like stocks do. You don't see 50% fall off. They go up, 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 and just stay there like a helium balloon. I love that. I missed this warrant today. I did not see it. All right, let's back this puppy up 20 days. Oh, what's going on here? Is this a brand new company? 921. Doesn't seem like it may not just be traded often. Yeah, it's just not traded very often. There's not a lot of interest in this warrant. Hit a low bubble here. That is a 6-month. Let's go back a year. See if that's a yearly bubble. It is.
I think it was, yeah.
Now, in all truth, let's be honest. This is a downhill run from start to finish the whole year. That's a 52-week low. That's a 52-week low. That's all of these are 52-week lows, every single one of them. So don't let anyone talk you into this being anything special. You know, maybe it's a 3-year low and it's something special. But as a 52-week low, it really isn't. It's bouncing off of that low for whatever reason. But look at the volume.
Yeah.
Oh, criminy. And look at our pattern here. You see it spreading out like that? It kind of looks like a mirror image of toothpaste or something, a bottle. So this is showing growth. That's the pattern you want to see when it comes even closer down to the hour, the 5 minute, the 1 minute. If you can get that on the 1 minute, you got it going on really good. Let's jump all the way down to the 5 minute. Oh boy, we only got 2 days. Let's check out the 10-day. All right, she's not traded off, and she was at 003 here for quite a few days with nothing going on. And with that news, she jumped from 003 to 025. You're looking at about 800% gains at her high before she fell back. Wow, that is incredible. And she kept a lot of them. She did fall all the way back down here to just over a penny. Yep, 0.013. So there was a lot of sitting on there on the table. Now, do I think it's going to continue running? I don't know. First, I'd figure out what the heck that 8K is trying to say. It sounds like they've got interest in multiple companies. How much interest in each one, I don't know. For what duration, to what benefit, I don't know. And that's going to determine if this is going to jump anymore. But most warrants, and Lily, back me up here, once you see a good run, a warrant starts to pull back, you got to wait for another.
Yeah, you do. It usually takes a little bit longer, but it usually will bleed off. Eventually, it will follow that stock. It does hold better than, like John was saying, it does hold up better because pretty much because it's so low. And what happens is usually whoever's bought into these warrants will start researching the company, and they're trying to figure out, do I want to add more? Do I want to just cut this? Do I want to just take, and get out of it and come back later? So they're doing some research. If this is something big and they, like, maybe the market hasn't discovered it yet, you'll see those warrants sitting between like 45 and 80 cents. Like, they will hold there no matter what the stock is doing, because you have a ton of investors that believe and know what they have, and they're waiting for that massive run, which will probably gain them thousands of percent once it happens. So for right now, from what we're seeing, I'm thinking it's going to bleed down.
Now on the chart, we do have a nice setup. It does show growth here. It is showing all the technicals except the RSI for the pullback. She has broken her 50, and I put up 2 supports and resistances here. This is where she did a lot of accumulation right in this area, and that's where she hit her head and then fell back. Yeah. So if we do get a push, this is going to where she's got to be breaking through here, 0.025. If she can get above that, there's a good chance that she could get up to 2.9 and then start to wrestle that right there. But warrants do not react the same as stocks. They have a whole different breathing pattern going on to them.
Very true.
All right, let's see who's jumped in over here. Jerome,
yeah, we do have some more. Jerome's here. Yeah. Hi, Jerome.
Belmore Mackenzie Brown. Good to see you. Nice to have you stopping in. I love having you here, folks. I mean, I make these all week by myself, and it's one thing to talk to yourself, but it's another thing to be talking to someone who's actually hearing you.
It's so much better to go live. I love doing the live, so because they get information they want, so I love doing that. But Jerome was asking that he wanted to ask about CRWN and GFAI if we have time for 2. CRWN.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything with that, am I?
I don't. Are you sure that's the right ticker, Jerome?
I'm going to try NW. That didn't work. What's up? Now, we only look at U.S. tickers. Somebody gave us a Canadian ticker once, and we couldn't find it, and that's what it was about. Canadian ticker.
I do. I see it on the NASDAQ, but I can't. There's no information to pull up. It's Crown Media.
Crown Media.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with Guard Force. You're familiar with Guard Force, aren't you, Lily? Didn't we talk about this? It's a drone company or something like that?
I can't remember. But I have talked about it, and I knew they had some acquisitions coming up. Gauging the price and what's happened with it, I'm assuming those acquisitions didn't happen, and it could be. It could be that they're still coming. It could be there's just a lot of hype.
Crown?
What's that?
You talking about Crown?
No, GFAI.
Oh, GFAI.
That's what you wanted to pull up. So the price action on it hasn't been, in my opinion, what I anticipated to happen as we went to September the 30th. That's when those acquisitions were supposed to happen. Unless I got that date wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was September the 30th. Anyway, it's fallen ever since I talked about it. And I was telling y'all, if we can get it to hold and get out of around 30 cents, then we're looking at some upside. And it did not do it. It could not do it. Every time it tried, it just gave it right back. And it's just bled down, went down about 22 cents. And I think we're sitting at maybe around 25, 26. Now, here's the thing. I don't know everything that's going on, but just from looking at the last 5 days, because it went down to that 22 cents area, and it's starting to build up. So what I'm suspecting is there is more to come with that. And if I was to play GFAI at this point, I would like to see it or get in under 25 cents. I would not want to mess with it on these spikes. I want to see it kind of level out and hold. Don't want to see it give up the 22 for sure. But I'd like to see it hold 23 to 25, get in around that area. And we usually get some, if you look at the chart, you can tell you get some pops on it. So you can probably get 2 or 3 cents. You can probably scalp it several times. But there is some anticipation. I do see a lot of volume on it. There is something going on, something more.
Yeah, the news today, they did have news come out. It's nothing big. A lot of people just kind of overlook these. They're just going to go to a conference. But when I say they're just going to a conference, that's where the investors are. That's the whole reason all these conferences are held, so they can stir up excitement and get people pouring money into their companies. So I normally pay attention to these simply because a couple of days after the conference, a few of these people have been stirred. I promise you, a few of them have gotten stirred up. They're going to wait for Friday or wait to talk to their wives or their husbands, whatever the case may be. And then you're going to see some bumps or jumps, depending how well they did at those conferences. Outside of that, I didn't see anything over here that was the top is old news. They got their fiscal report here. Business update. That's probably a real good one to go into, because they'll cover stuff in the past and stuff they think about in the future. Another conference here. They're out there talking to people. I don't see any real business here. Some warrants being exercised. Egads.
Nobody likes that.
That's just more shares in the float, isn't it?
That's right. It's just like an offering when they do that, when they exercise them or when they call their warrants.
Traded for shares. It's a birth. The warrant poof, goes from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And there's a new share down here in the float pile. So every warrant ultimately becomes a share.
That's why I do not like that.
Wasn't there just another Chinese IPO, a battery company that just came out?
If there was, I missed it. I know we had Lace came out not long ago. I've been waiting for, LCIN, I think it was.
Right. And see, the reason
I still don't think we have that one.
And the reason these Chinese companies were so appealing wasn't just because they had small share counts. They weren't selling hundreds of millions of shares or a billion. They were selling 5 million shares IPO. That's it. $6, $8, $10. And they had no warrants. So you knew there was no dilution on the future. It was like, that's it. So it really didn't matter. It was a mathematical thing. However, it does make a difference what sector you're in. And I'm thinking a Chinese company with a low float in battery. Now think about this, battery materials, they're in China. They got all the battery materials. They're the ones hoarding it all. So if you're going to get into a Chinese company that could run, I think a battery company in China would be a nice one if it has a small float, no warrants. If you can get a price to get in, it may be offered at $6, but unless they have a pre-buy somewhere, good luck getting in. It's a crap toss. You have no idea what number to put on the table. You just don't.
We did hear back from Jerome, who said it was CRKN. Apologies.
We'll get to that here in just a sec then.
All right.
So GFAI does have a great float. Whatever it is, it's under 21 million, which is a great float. Just to get our head straight here, what it is they do, integrated security solutions provider that trusted to protect and transport the high value assets of blah, blah, blah. Developing let's get to it. What do? GuardForce AI helps clients adopt new technologies and operate safely as the Asia Pacific business landscapes evolve. Not real specific. So maybe you guys know more about what this company does. They had a little bit of gains today, as you were saying. We've already looked at that chart, and I think I'm in agreement with you. You would like to buy it under the 25 if you can get it. She's sitting on top of the 50 right now. It's been a nice placement. She fought hard to get up to this position. Our PPO and our ADX on the 30-minute are looking good. They're just now starting to separate. But then we got this aftermarket activity. Could have just been one buy for all we know aftermarket. And it changed all the technicals. So don't put a whole lot of faith on one transaction aftermarket.
Oh yeah, you got time. You can wait and watch this one and see and gives you time to research too. Is there more stuff coming? Because I know I was anticipating some news at the end of September. I don't think we got it. If we did, the chart does not reflect that. So I don't think we did.
All right, we got Crown Electrokinetics Core. Had a hard day, lost 25% of her price.
Wow.
She's at 24.5 cents roughly. This is a NASDAQ stock. Keeping in mind, NASDAQs have a minimum bid price. They cannot stay under $1 or they'll be throwing off the NASDAQ down to the OTC like it's a punishment. And it is for them. It darn sure is. Cost you 75 grand to get up onto the NASDAQ, not to mention all the paperwork. So they've got to get this up in some amount of time. They'll be warned. You got 6 months to do it. Get it over $1 for 20 days straight, or it's bye-bye. So I don't know anything about this. We can probably see that from the chart. You can also go into the filings over here, and you'll get a warning. You'll get a warning from them, and they'll say, we've gotten a letter from the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
So here's a public offering that they want to sell some stock. That was yesterday. They
It
put
was an
that
offering. That's probably why it went down.
Oh, I did read this one. They dropped it. Here they wanted $4 million worth of stock to be sold. The last one we just looked at was actually 3.5. So they lowered it. Is that a reason to get excited? No. It fell.
It still doesn't matter to the investor. It's very upsetting for them.
Nothing else here. Let's check out our news. 11. No, we got nothing new here. Nothing fresh. Let's check out them share structures. Getting better. Look at that. We're under 15 million. Okay, under 16 million for the float. It's getting better and better. Anything else here? No. What I do want to do here, just real quick, I want to jump over here to Twitter. Since we actually couldn't find anything there, I'd like to see if somebody knows something. Throw a $sign up there and you can get 1,000 people to tell you something. Most of the time, though, you get just technicals. Man, these
You know what? I'm going to give y'all a pro tip real quick. I'm going to give this to you too, John. If you want to know something, especially on Twitter or Reddit, whatever it is, and you're wanting like research for DD on a ticker, all you have to do is put the ticker up there, say some stuff about the company, and make sure it's incorrect. Say all kinds of incorrect stuff, and you don't know how many people love correcting you. They don't want to share. They just want to correct you. So you'll get tons of information. Yeah, you'll make them mad or whatever. They'll call you dumb, whatever. Don't worry about that. The ulterior motive here is to get the info.
Right, trying to get ink for
and make them
squid.
Make them work for you. So try it out. I'm telling you, I think it could work.
Poking the bear. That's good.
They love doing that, though. They'll correct you in a heartbeat. And make sure you have some typos in there. It really gets them going.
I don't see any news. Yeah, I'm at typos. I made one comment one day about TGGI because they had made the merger after 2 years and the stock really didn't do anything. And boy, I got 454 comments in one day.
Did it blow up? It blew up.
Oh, yeah, it blew up. I touched a lot of nerves. I sure did.
I'm telling you. Put some fake information, false information. They'll be all over you.
I think TGGI fell, from over a penny down to 0.005, 0.004 today. I mean, it took a tumble. 50% of all of its value it lost.
Wow.
Okay, I don't see any news over here. They're talking about Peggy, though, and there wasn't a lot to be
looked at. Everybody talking about Peggy. Everybody says, who's Peggy? And I was like, I don't know, but I think she owes me some money.
So we had a jump yesterday on Corkin or Kraken or whatever you want to call her. Yeah, she jumped yesterday with a lot of volume and a lot of surge. Hit that high at, look at that. Gee whiz, 10:30. You got a full hour run out of that puppy, and she went from 20 cents to 48 cents. So there was like 115% gains there if you got out. That's the key. You got to get out. You can't think things are going to go on forever. You know, I've got a trick. Get out while it's still going up.
Right.
Why wait for it to start falling? If you've got a goal of 20, 25, 30% and you're over that, 40, 50, 60, yeah, maybe it will go to 100. But wouldn't you be happy putting in your sell order at 60% gains? By the time you sell it, it hit 85. Whoa, you got more than you expected. You wait for it to hit its high and you say, oops, I got to get out. As you're typing, it's falling. You saw it at 85 and you got out at 55. much more fun to get more than you expected on your exit.
Always scale out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like this one you're looking at right now. Yesterday, the volume is insane. That's a massive move. Today, the volume is nothing.
Gone.
It's nothing. It's better than the day before, but it's still not good enough. It's done.
Now our technicals are showing she wants to come back up here. She crushed the 200. Now this could easily be the rubber ball, the ball that goes down into the water and comes back up on top and floats. So it's gone under the water here and it's pushing back up. And look, every single technical is saying that. We've got our spread on the pink and the blue, crossover in the MACD approaching the signal line. The only thing that's lacking is your RSI because there just isn't any price action right now. That rises when the price action comes in.
Yeah.
So there is hope here. She's sitting in a very nice position, but it doesn't mean she's going to actually climb when she gets on top. It just means she may not fall anymore.
Well, here's the thing, like the chart wise right there, I don't hate the way that chart looks. I don't like that the volume's not there anymore. But all you draw you a trend line, you guys, and watch it. Extend the trend line out. It will follow it. It'll keep going down or whatever. When you start seeing it go above that trend line and start breaking out of it, now you're more interested in that it's possibly going to move back up. And it's telling you that it's getting to be time. So if I was to draw that trend line, John, I would go from the top of the candle. I would not even include the wick.
Yeah, I was just.
And then it's going to poke out with the wicks a little bit. But, pick that side up a little. Hit the last candle. What you want to do is make sure you hit the top of all the candles that you can. And that's your trend line right there. Sometimes I include the wicks. Usually, if we have a lot of volume or something, I'll include the wicks. So, and it's going to make a decision right here. Like looking at this is a triangle. Looking at it.
It's got to break out somewhere, don't it?
It's got to break up or down. So, buying right here is the wrong decision. It's better to be patient and let it figure it out and let it tell you.
Yep, you can see she's bouncing right in there. All right.
We do have a couple more. There's one or two I want to cover as well, you guys.
Let me back out of here. My finger's kind of glued to the button.
So, let's do that. And if we can, John, Banana was asking what chart that was you were just looking at. It was Crown, right? CRKN?
Yes.
That was CRKN.
Corkin, whatever.
I'm just calling it Crown. My bad. CRKN is the chart. And hi, Banana. But we do.
Hi, Banana.
We have GB in Hawaii that's wanting us to look at a few of them. And if we get time, we will look at them. What I have to share is not huge, but I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Let me make sure my charts are pulled up. And my news is pulled up. All right. I don't know if I'll be able to get to the news, but I'll try. All right. So my computer's betraying me, you guys.
It says present, not share.
Yeah, present.
Tomato.
Can you see the screen?
We do. Looks good.
All right, let me back. I don't want to talk about this one just yet. All right, so what I'm bringing to your attention is a NASDAQ stock, but we're looking at RMED, RMED. The reason why we're looking at it just had a reverse split not long ago, you guys, the 3rd of October. It split the same time the ACVT did. Anyway, so I've been watching RMED. The other one's had a lot of play, and this one hasn't just yet. So I'm going to back it up just a little bit so we can see back to that date. I want to say this was the 3rd. Yep. So right here is our split. I went ahead and put a trend line on it, and as you can see, we're staying in that trend. You see how it's climbing? That's what you want to see. So, I've been playing this. Every time it hits like the bottom of this trend line, and every time it gets to the top or even close to it, I'm out. So that's one way to play it. Problem is, it's a low float stock. Ever since RMED reverse split, it is a 1 million float. Right here, you can see I did a reverse regression Fibonacci. So the reason why is because of the high that it hit. And then I came back to the low of where it dropped to. This kind of tells me the range, like these, the blue line. Let me get closer. Sorry. These blue lines tell me about where it should hold or where it's going to have trouble. And now that it's finally gotten over the 23.6, it's actually kind of staying in this area. You see how it's floating back and forth, and it's staying in the trend. So that's nice. That's really nice movement there.
Yep.
This right here, the red dotted line, this is a bottom trend for the lowest wick we've had on it. And all I did was hit the wicks all the way across. You can see it has wick down under it.
Yeah.
But with a low float, you can kind of expect that. And if you don't have the stomach or the heart to trade low floats, I recommend you ignore everything I'm saying. It can be pretty wild.
Yeah, the reason you like low floats, it's supply and demand. If there's
Yes.
only 1 million shares and the company sells 5 million shares today, well, somebody who just bought
Yeah.
shares today has to sell them. And if they
That's
don't want to
right.
let them go, the price goes up. We have to start offering
It's
more.
demand. So
It can be crazy sometimes.
the person may not want to let them go at $6.72, but once you start getting bids of $7, $8, $9, they're like, okay. And next thing you know, it keeps going. The
Yeah.
other reason why I'm bringing this up, because your Ortex data is showing that we have short squeeze potential here. That's good to know. That can cause these to really explode and to run.
Especially with the low float.
Yes. So it might be
Yeah.
a quick run, but it's better to understand, know about this, and play them from maybe this area before it starts actually taking off. That's very dangerous and very risky. Even this is risky. But I wanted to mention it in case we got some momentum traders out there. This is a NASDAQ listed stock, like I said. So the short interest on it is 222%, you guys. It is #1 trending right now.
What'd you say? How much?
222% short interest.
Now, I want to explain this to you folks. You think to yourself, how can it be more than 100% shorted? There's a million shares and it's shorted 100%. Well, that's 1 million shares. 240% means it's shorted 2.4 million shares. Well, 2.4 million shares don't exist. So how does that happen?
They're
Some
borrowing.
brokers can actually loan out. That's how shorters get their shares. They borrow them and sell them, take the money now, hope the price drops, buy them back cheaper, keep the difference, put the shares back. Well, some of the brokers will give my shares away twice. They'll give them to this guy, and then they'll give them to that guy. When I don't have that many. And that's when it gets critical. If you get a squeeze with that sort of number, oh my God, you do get game. That's what you do get. Game was at 140% when it took off.
Yes, it was 120, 140% short. You're right. And its float wasn't as low as this. So the thing is, the shorts have, as far as I know, and it's kind of hard to gather this type of data, so don't hold me to it. But as far as I know, these shorts were in before the reverse split. This type of interest has been on this stock for a while, and it was really beat down and hammered, you guys. They did a 50 reverse split. So anytime you see this price, like 672, where it's at right now, 678, divided by 50, that's what it was before it split. So we're talking about 11, 12, 13 cents range, right? So just keep that in mind too. And I could definitely see this one, especially if we keep the uptrend, if we can get some volume to come in. I have no doubt that this stock could definitely touch $10. It's at least going to probably revisit that $8.30 that it did right here. However, if it starts breaking down and this trend, this up channel is not holding, then, the move's over and I wouldn't even bother messing with it. And if you are going to play something like this, please be responsible and manage your risk, which means you don't bet the farm on this. Don't do that. Put a little bit of money in there, a little bit of grocery money, and manage your stops, you guys. And it's going to move so fast that your stop may be missed. So just be aware of that. You don't like that kind of action, stay away from it. And definitely do not do it after the fact. If something happens and the stock starts running, do not without having, a lot of experience. Do not do it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring it up.
Game, $350 for a share of game.
Oh, God bless them.
But see, they were playing the game. And I don't mean to be, having a pun there. They weren't trying to make money. They were playing the game. They were trying to break the back of the big boys. So there was a whole different war going on there. This
Yes.
most of your shorts are just about money. That's it. We're not trying to prove anything. We're just trying to make some money.
And this one, sorry, John,
That's okay.
you're right, though. You're absolutely right. This one right here is one I called out a few days ago. This is BTCM, which is a bit mining company, and it's been beat down as well. Let's go back and we'll just see the yearly, just to let y'all see where we were and how far we've gone down. And if we
Yeah.
go back to those 3 years, this is the type of run it had all the way up to 35.
Is that when
So
Bitcoin was
and it's
60,000?
Bitcoin, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that this is a good company. I'm not saying anything like that. I don't know their financials, but what I do know is we're in an uptrend. And you can see where I've drawn that on the chart right here.
Yep.
And it's respecting it, you guys. So I
Yeah.
called this one out. I called it, I want to say, 22, 23 cents, something like that. But I think our first buy, we got in at 28 even. I bought again at 26, I think. So I'm gonna go back to the 5 day just so we can kind of see. I'm doing a short swing on it is what I'm doing. So and it's not too late. Like we're sitting at 28. I don't want to see the stock below 26. If it's below 26, because it's really been respecting that low of 26. Don't count this 23. That was 1 wick right here. Yeah. If it gets down that low, it's done. And if it's trending that way, it's done. Just leave it alone.
You better be out
Anyway,
before it gets that low.
yeah, that's the thing. If we lose the 26 to 26 cents on BTCM, I was looking at it like, okay, if the market's not looking healthy, if SPY isn't doing well, stuff like that, it's probably done. And I'll probably let it go instead of adding more. But right now, I like the movement that it's had. It's going a little bit slower, and I was hoping, and we got some volume here a couple of days ago, which is what got my attention on it. But I'm taking time and just building the swing position. So I just wanted to share it. BTCM, I think any buy but below 28 cents is okay, and just know how to swing and be able to add more. But the lowest I've seen lately is 26. So if it goes under 26, then start reevaluating. And the way you manage your risk on a swing play is how you buy in. You don't buy all your shares at once, So just keep an eye on that. Bitcoin seems to be holding up. Crypto seems to be diverting from the market. Like it's starting to do its own thing instead of following the market. That's kind of why I'm looking at this one. And we had some other news that had all the other major cryptos like Mara and Riot. They were actually doing really well. So I'm just hoping that maybe we get some sympathy here. And I'm looking for 33 to 35 cents. Nothing huge here. But a nice little swing that you could get into. And it may not be too late. I would wait for a dip probably after open. And if it dips too much, then I would leave it alone. If it goes under 26, I wouldn't even mess with it. All right.
Very good.
And one more. I do have one more.
Goody.
CSCW. A lot of people have been talking about this one. This is the last 5 days on CSCW. It is trending up, since what, 9:30. So the end of September. Looking very good, beautiful. And here's the problem. The problem is it broke out of this trend.
Yeah.
I mean, can it come back up? It absolutely can. But this trend line has been broken. So I wanted to bring it up because there's so much chatter on Color Star, the CSCW, and it did have a reverse split. I'm pretty sure not long ago. I can't remember when. So this could have been it for it, but I think they have like a product. They have, I think October the 10th, there's a product release coming out, a reveal of some kind of phone. It was like a Dono metaverse phone. I don't even know what that is. But I mean, it sounds interesting. So does it build up from here? And let's get closer so we can look at it because I kind of want to let you know what to look for. And it could. I don't like how it sold off here. I mean, let's just go from pre-market to here. See, that's a nasty drop right there. I don't like that whatsoever. Too much for me for it to look healthy. But in its defense, it did drop out of the trend line before, like right here in this area, it dropped out too. So it's not terrible, but we want to see it reclaim. We want to see it start building back up and not hitting its head at this 160 area. We want to see it start break out back over this 165, 166 and holding up. If that happens and it wants to start consolidating in that area, you might have a good play here. So that's why I'm kind of pointing it out. However, I don't know what's changed. I don't know why it did this. That does concern me. So just realize that I'm bringing it up because it's being talked about. What I would do is slap a trend line right here. Let me go ahead and do that right now. I will take it from the wick and we'll hit the other ones. So what I anticipate or what I would like to see happen is for this stock to stay above that trend line that I just drew. If it wants to stay above that and start building up back to the trend that it was in, then we might have a play there. But if not, it breaks down below it. That's it. I would not take the trade. I'd be out of it. Done. So just wanted to mention that. And when I drew that trend line, it was sitting at $1.40. It extends to about $1.48 right now. It will steadily keep going up as the price continues on. So you can draw your own if you want to follow that as well. But if we get back above probably the 166 to 160, probably maybe 170, depends on how long it takes. Get back above that and starts looking healthy again, might be back in play. And keep up with the news on it. But I just wanted to bring it up. It could totally be done just from this move right here. We will find out tomorrow. So this is me and John won't be here tomorrow.
We didn't get the GBN Hawaii's tickers.
Yeah,
here.
I didn't know if we had a few more minutes.
We got a few more minutes. I see we got a couple questions. Jerome Horace asked, and I did cover this. Maybe I didn't go into it deep enough about what shorting is. Very quickly, it is a investor borrowing shares that were already purchased by an investor. If you're not selling those shares, they can be borrowed. The broker loans your shares out, and as soon as they get the shares, they sell them, and they get whatever money it's worth. So if they borrow 1,000 shares and it's going for $1 a share, they get $1,000. Then they wait and hope that the price falls. And when it falls, they didn't sell. Let's just say they sell for 50 cents. They get to keep $500 because it only cost them $500 to buy the same 1,000 shares back. And they just give them back to the broker. Voila, no problem. But while those shares are out, there is short interest. And when the price gets up too high, if he paid $1 for them and it goes up to $1.10, he's out 10%, $1.20, $2, $4. Now, not only is he having to sell because he's losing money, so are all the other shorters. And when you got 2.5 times as many shorters as there should be, like the one Lily was showing you, oh my God, a panic starts there. It's like a bank run. It's a game. That's what you end up with. That's what everybody hopes for, that short squeeze and panic to make them have to buy. They're exorbitant the situation. We're already buying shares, making the price go up. Then they buy more shares, which makes the price go up. And it just helps us more and more and more. So that's the battle that goes on.
Yeah, it's definitely the inverse of what we do when we just trade equities. So when it's going up, you know how we get happy. And maybe we decide, let's say it dipped and we decided to buy the dip. So now we're buying more. It's the same with a short. So when it's going up and they're losing money, they will double up on their short once it hits a certain price. So it can make it just go crazy. It can make it move. If they get squeezed, then they have to cover their short. And that makes it more painful. The other thing is, if the price is staying up or accumulating and climbing steadily, the shares that they borrowed or the shares that they have to pay to hold those. So that starts increasing as well. So there's a lot of pain that can be felt by shorting, but don't get me wrong, it's very beneficial. I like to teach, to play the market up and down, and shorting is just one of the ways to do it. And this is just what I've gathered with the short interest on that particular ticker, RMED. So at this point where it's sitting and kind of consolidating, I really like if it holds in the 650s around that area. And I definitely don't want it to go below the wicks where it's been hitting. But so you may get a wick down to 620 or something like that, but you can still see there's a lot of interest on it. So if it can hold there, yeah, I think it's possible, especially with it trending, that it's going to be a battle though. You think the shorts are just going to give it up? It's not. So we'll see how it plays out. I would, grocery money, sure, why not? Don't harm yourself with something like this though. If that stock decided to sell off, it would be so fast that you would lose a lot. Just like you could gain a lot, you can definitely lose a lot on a low float. They move extremely fast. So just
So
be
taking
safe.
a quick look, I know we're just at 5 o'clock, so we'll briefly look at it because you have been very patient, GB in Hawaii. I
Yes,
appreciate
thank
that.
you.
Aloha, my friend. All right, we are looking. I did give a quick glance at all three of your stocks there. Just looking at the chart advantage, you've got Sybil. Sybil has got the chart advantage right now. She is pushing up. You've got all of your technicals here skyrocketing.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
When they're all pointing up, you can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong there. And the price obviously is pushing up as well. The volume is consistent here. You can see she just doesn't quit having trades on it. So Sybil is definitely a popular stock. She has definitely decided to get up onto this 200, and all the technicals look like she wants to continue. Now, that is on the long 4-hour chart. It's coming down to, say, 10-day chart. You got an uptrend going here for the last 4 days. She has been under the 200 for more than that, and she is now pushing up. She just hit a high bubble at the end of today and had a pullback, as you would expect. You hit a high bubble, that's what you happen. But everything is looking good on the technicals. Everything is still looking strong. Volume is consistent. You can count on that. Don't know what the news is. Well, since we're here, we'll just let 1,000 people fill us in. Okay, official account of Cyberlux. That's where you want to go. I mean, tweets are okay, but you want the Bears language. So, quick update. Our team is reviewing our Q3 revenue performance and expected to communicate preliminary results tomorrow. Could be rising today simply because of anticipation. Guys, I love to tweet about Sybil. Let's see if they've got anything else over here. Here recently. October 3rd, our CEO, Mark Schmidt, recently released a shareholder update. It's probably worth the read. It's one of my favorite pieces of PRs that come out, a CEO update, shareholder letter. He's talking. This is the man at the wheel of the company. He's the one that can make or break it. You got to listen to the CEO and every word he says. He's like the president, right? What he says matters. Well, for most presidents. So this gives you an idea of where his head is at. And then you look a little deeper. Is he holding any stock in this company? Has he got skills in this sector? All sorts of things like that. So this would be definitely worthy of looking at. Let's see here if there's anything over here that we can pick up real quick. Sybil with an L. We're pink limited, which means they're late on something. First concern. And so folks, this is very important. If they are late too long, they will be yanked off of the OTC market, thrown down to the expert market. It's not a delisting. It is a punishment. They can't have their shares bought or sold while they're down there, and it gives them time to get their filings done. Once they're done, they come back on the market. But the question is, when are they going to get yanked off? How much time is too much time? Well, here at the OTC markets, they will put grace period right here when they get 15 days countdown. They'll be gone in 15 days unless they get their filing in. And you can come over here to quote, because they won't tell you the date here. It just says grace period. That's it. Mm-hmm. You got to come over here to proprietary quote eligibility under the quote tab right here. And it'll say grace period. Last day of grace period, and they'll give you a date. You don't want to buy into a stock on the open market. It's going to be pulled off the open market, and you can't do anything until they come back. Nobody wants that to happen.
And GB in Hawaii is saying that Sybil's pink currents tomorrow, supposedly. So he's just sharing that with you.
Let's see here. Okay. There's their late. No, that's from the 11th. Jeez. 6. Jeez. They haven't filed anything in over a month. I see the attorney letter. It seems to me we looked at this last week. because they put in the attorney letter a couple times, which means there was something wrong. They forgot something. They got to add something. So they had to do it again. Right there's an annual letter. There's the annual report. There's the attorney letter. The attorney letter 633. I see everything there. Normally, it only takes less than a week to approve anything that's filed if it's okay. If not, things go wrong, blah, blah, blah. Well, this has been a while. So I'm not real confident. I'm not quite sure where you heard they're going to go pink, but maybe you know something I don't. Let's see what other one. Oh, you took it away.
I'm sorry.
AXXA.
Put it
That's
back.
okay. Was it AXXA?
AXXA. I put it back up for you.
No
Sorry.
worries. No worries. All right.
I'm trying to communicate in the chats while you're talking.
All right. So we got 653 million in the float on AXA. Looks like they quit making money at the end of last year and started back up here just this last quarter. Had a bald spot in there, a big bald spot. Did $11.7 million and got to keep almost 10 million. So that's pretty good. That's not bad at all. Disclosures, anything cooking over here in the kitchen? No, we got nothing here. News. We had news a couple months ago just about their revenues. There's an update for M-Moto. Don't know what M-Moto is. That could be a phone, could be a car. I don't know.
You're right there.
And we were looking at the chart, and I think AXA was the one that also looked like it had something going on there for a. Go on back. AXXA. So she took a jump a couple of days ago. Didn't see any news there. She hit a high. How far back does that high go? We're in the 30-minute right now. All right, so right here is when things change. She hit that low bubble. She got up on top of the 200, has been pretty much staying near the 200. She did fall away here, and now she's coming back up to it. Technicals actually look like she wants to continue to grow, but we're a long ways out, 4 hours. All right, she's gotten up on top of that 200 for 3 days now. She has been struggling to sit up there. She's slipping right now, trying to stand on that 20-day SMA, and the technicals do not look very strong right now. On the 1 hour, everything looks like it is pulling back, probably is going to come back down and test that 50. Could very well likely come down to the 200 haul, which most of you probably don't have on your system. This is like a 200-day SMA, but it gives more credence to current prices, so it's normally a different line that's closer to the price more often. And again, the technicals are not very strong right now on AXA. And INTK was the last one?
INTK.
Well, the old memory's still working. It makes noise when I shake it, but it still works. All right. Been falling for the last 20 days, and boy, we took a big drop here, didn't we? Big drop. Penny and a half, and fell down to 0075. I'm surprised she hasn't hit that low again. Let's see. Oh, she's riding on it. Yeah, it looks like she's actually riding on it. She's skipping across it like a stone on water.
Yeah. And if it wants to hold there, that is just consolidation. Absolutely. Problem is, it could go on like this for months. So usually I wait until, I'll chart that out, but I'll wait until I start seeing that climb back up, start proving to me that it's time, because I don't like sitting my money aside and just waiting and waiting. I don't like that.
And it looks like the 200 SMA is the other side of the channel here. I mean, that's where it's riding. It's hitting its head on the 200 and bouncing off that floor. Bing, 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 bing. So
you can scalp the mess out of it in this area.
So, yeah, we're looking for a breakout, obviously, over the 200. And God help us if it goes under that low bubble. Right now, it looks like she's trying to push back up to the 200, but has she got anything to get over it right now? Well, real quick, before we close the show off, let's take a look and see if we got any catalyst going on over here.
Maybe we can look at HLBZ, because they're asking, please.
Give me those.
If you got a few minutes, I do too.
Give me those puppy eyes.
My puppy looks crazy.
All right, we got news, corporate strategy. This is an update, probably pretty good. Announced deals in office in Dubai. Of course, you want to work in Dubai. Who doesn't? I don't see any actual news there that could cause it to be moving. Financials. No, I don't see anything over here that jumps out. Obviously, more DD to know what the company's about and what they're up to. Let's see here. We'll give old Twitter a chance here to show us something. The assessment shared on StockWits recently got my attention. Lowe's selling industrial nanotech products is a bigger deal than I think. Oh, now I wonder, is this one of the
Must be.
I'm trying to remember. I know there was a company I looked at, and this is kind of jumping out at me. One of these companies makes a paint.
You've looked at this before.
It turns red when it gets hot. So you put it on pipes and boilers, and you know when the metal is fragile.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember if this is that ticker. I can't remember.
Right. I can't remember either. But if the company's got to deal with Lowe's, that's like having to deal with Walmart, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the kings of America when it comes to retail. So anything they got going there, the Lowe's legal and diligence departments validate far greater than hand-picked auditor accounting from INTK's products. Where's some DD there? Looks like INTK's got something. It sounds like good news, but we're only going across the surface right now with these quick glance overs. INTK waiting on Q3 results. Q1 and Q2 had record sales and record net income. Lots of excitement for Q4. Dubai office opened. Dubai Labs Streamcast Q4. Germany factory in Q4. Boy, they got a lot, don't they?
It says talking paint too, John. You see that? Talking paint. That must be what you're talking. Yeah.
I got a coffee pot that does that. Droplet oil, REM. So looks like they are a business doing business in a decent country with products already that I was familiar with, and I don't even buy the bloody things. So the company's doing something. It's just, it really doesn't matter how great the company is right now. Look at Google, look at Facebook, look at Amazon. Everybody's dropping. Yeah. Everybody's dropping because of the world we're in right now. It's not even the war. As far as I'm concerned, all these American companies are going through the inflationary struggles. Everybody's tight on money. If we're not spending it, they're not getting it, so they can't spend it. And then the people they're spending it with aren't getting it, and they can't spend it. And then you have layoffs and layoffs and layoffs. And
you're absolutely right.
It's a spiral down.
I'm waiting for that job market to crash down, you guys, and I'm waiting for our earnings reports to start getting slammed. And if that happens, then that'll be the last pieces of the recipe that I've been waiting for when it comes to this down market.
We had
CCL did that this week, John. CCL's earnings and their outlook was terrible. It dropped to like 1990 levels. We were buying it up because it was like six. I think it went down to 658.
Well, we had a fast food restaurant here, Wendy's, put up a poster for $18 an hour to hire just your basic help. I came by 2 months later. They were closed. McDonald's was next to them, so I went to McDonald's instead. I said, so what's up with Wendy's? She says they lost their manager, so they don't have anybody to replace their manager, so they can't open the store. So they were losing. They couldn't get enough employment on the bottom end, and we're losing people on the top end.
And because of inflation, we're raising, a lot of places are doing that. They're raising their wages to attract people and get them in there. But that's the problem. It's not going to work, you guys.
Almost had me in there, $18 an hour.
No, it'll work. It will work. But what will happen is once everything's corrected and once we've gone through all the hard times and everybody's kind of hurting for money, they will start laying people off. They will lay you off. They'll keep the onesies and twosies that are real good, give them a little manager position. Everybody else gets laid off. And then they start restructuring with the come up from the recession, if we go through it, which I think we're in it already. Don't tell nobody.
Anyway. In short breath, we got a long ways to go.
Yeah, they'll fire everybody and they'll bring other people back in and they'll pay them $9 an hour. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to lose money just because they're paying 14 and 18 now. That won't continue. So we got a lot of rough stuff coming up. Anyway, we didn't get to HLBZ. And I'm
Hold
so
on.
sorry.
She said, please.
Yeah, they keep saying please. That's why I was like, please, John.
No, right. I saw puppy eyes.
Yeah,
we're gonna look
I
at.
tried.
I gotta sleep tonight, so
You know what? I'm good for it if you're good for it. Let's do it.
I'm good. It's not like I gotta pay extra. It's a one-time fee. Okay, what do we got here? This is Hello Love because Zidar. Hello Love because Zidar. All right, whatever works. Hellbiz. Oh, what a name. I think mine was better. Hellbiz. Come on. What kind of business? We sell fire. ILS loves you guys. Let's see here. I'm not even quite sure what Hellbiz does. I'm real interested. All right. This is a NASDAQ stock, also under $1 at 34 cents. Didn't have a great day, down just a little over 2%. Float is going to be under 51 million, which isn't bad. We're not going to jump up and down, but we're not crying. They were making some money at the end of last year, but lost way more than they made. They made 12.8 million and lost $21 million. That ain't good. Quarterly, they do any better? Well, they're closing that gap up. They made 4.3. Cost of revenue was 10.2. That's what you get paying your employees $18 an hour. Cut it out. So they were down $5 million, almost $6 million last quarter. Whoa, that's a hell of a biz. Ha ha. How'd I get that in there? All right, let's see about disclosures. An effect, that's going to be, normally an effect is something happening. It's gone live. It's just meaning it's taking its first breath. I have no idea what just took its breath, though. S1 on the 15th. These are normally pretty good pieces. They're like 8Ks. Information, indemnification of directors and officers. Indemnification. That doesn't sound good. All right, so I don't see any catalyst going on over here. Let's check.
It looks like it's down today.
Let's see. Come on, baby. No news. All right. Let's see what sort of information we can get on Hellbiz over here. Hopefully nobody starts preaching at us. October 4th, notice of appearance by Tai-Hoon Park on behalf of Decentral Inc. Is that for Hellbiz? Yeah, Anthony DeLauro involved in securities fraud regarding Hellbiz. Yeah, we've just had a couple people busted. Justin, not Bieber. Who said that? Justin Collender or something. He's in with 2 OTC stocks I've mentioned before. He just got busted for fraud, $38 million. He was on the run. He knew he did something wrong.
Goodness.
Due to Hellbiz stocks, quite bullish. In my experience, when you least expect it. Come on, Hellbiz. So it looks like they make scooters and mopeds. That's a hell of a business. Hellbiz is to participate at UBS Electric Vehicle Mobility Virtual Conference on September 27th. So that just happened. You would expect just after a conference to see.
I didn't like it.
But if you got somebody in the management who's got charges against them or a bad light, that isn't going to help. That isn't going to help at all. Bottom play loading area, 24 million float. Whoa. They offer e-scooters, e-bikes, e-mopeds for users to rent them directly from their mobile application. And it looked like that was in the United States. See, we've lost it. They've changed a page on me. Yeah, that looks like, I think that's the USA. So, Hellbiz, let's just check out their chart. HLZ.
Yeah,
that's a perfect ticker.
Doesn't look nice.
It doesn't look nice.
No,
that doesn't look nice. That's a
like
5.
You back up about the 4 hour 100 the past 6 months. You see that little spike there? Tons of volume. I don't know what that was, but that was beautiful. Wow, and then it's just dropped off this whole time.
Yeah, that was on 8-9. I am kind of curious about that. Let me check that out for us. Hellbiz 8-9. See if we have anything, because that was a huge jump. That was giant. 8-9. No. We got no
Weird.
filings here, and they don't give us news. There may have been news. I've got to figure there was.
I will tell you that at that time before that happened, I would say that high, that top was around 8-9, August 9th, like you said, but their low bubble was August the 2nd. So if you look at the chart, you can see that. So maybe it was just that, John.
Really?
I mean, that's interesting, but if there's no news, it did hit a low, and now it's doing it again. It's hit another low.
Now,
so maybe that's why they're anticipating it might move.
Let me see here. I do not see an NT10Q, a late form, because that is just a couple of days before they had to file. So I don't know. But yeah, there was a ton of volume there. It was really the only volume except for right here as well. We had just a little, but this was a huge jump there. That went from 48 cents up to, whoa, $2.44.
That's insane. No low bubbles did that. Maybe
wow,
do they reverse split? Is that possible?
Well, it's going for multiple days.
Oh, true.
And it's going pre-market after market. If it was a split, it'd be one big bar.
It won't be one big bar. You're right.
Look at that run. That is delicious.
Dang. That is delicious. So that's what I would be watching for, you guys. Watch for that volume. I mean, because who knows? I don't know why that happened, but it could definitely happen again, of course. So soon? Probably not. And we just hit a low a few days ago.
Yeah.
I went ahead and did it on my chart real quick. I hate this stock unless it can get over 0.3468. Because then it's starting to prove we're back in an uptrend. If you see volume as well, now you might be onto something. However, that number changes. That's the number for today. Tomorrow, if it keeps going down lower, that number is going to get lower as well. And what I'm doing is trending the tops of the downtrend. So just draw a line across it. Keep an eye on it if you're interested in it. I hope that helped everybody. We did it, John.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to all of them. I really do hate leaving a ticker out there. Honestly, I really hate it. And we've discovered that we can't make comments where you guys are commenting right now after the show is over.
Yeah, we can't.
So if you asked a question that we can answer off screen, we will answer it in just a regular comments underneath these videos down below. So we're not going to forget you. Every single one of you are valuable to me, whether I got 10 or 10,000 of you. I appreciate your time. I'm not here to make any money off you. I'm here to share because sharing is caring. And damn it, it just feels good to care about something. So thanks. And thank you, Lily.
And we enjoyed doing this, John. Thank you for having me here. I love doing this. And
now, did you say you will not be with us next week?
Yeah, I'll just fix and tell them, you guys, I will not be here next week. Lily taking a family vacation. Going to get on that boat for all those CCL shares that I had. And they didn't call me up and said, hey, you're one of our biggest investors. Come on. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I am a high roller, though. They do give me free drinks when I go up there gambling. I'm just saying.
My kind of girl.
Anyway, guys, I will be out with doing that, and I'm going to miss you, but I'll be back the week after that, and maybe we can share a couple of pictures. Who knows?
Yeah. Bring some pictures. Bikinis. We love bikinis. Your husband has got to shave.
I will put my husband in a bikini. Don't you worry. I got you.
I'm kidding. Oh, my God.
Got you.
We'll see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, folks.
Bye.